Hello, today I will talk about how to read annual report SEC Form 10K. But first, we need to know how to actually look for that form. Easiest way to go about searching for it, if you find any sticker, for example, Radian, and you figure out a full name of a company, you can basically type it in Google and see their website. Once you find their website, you would end up going to investors and investor relations. There's a bunch of things, but typically 10K would be under quarterly results or somewhere else in here. It has a lot of forms. You might need to look a lot to actually find the right one, but if you click quarterly results, you can see that there's 10K here. And 10Qs. It's quarterly. 10Q is basically mini version of 10K. They release it every quarter, and it's just pretty much smaller version, but they're very closely related. Okay, in summary, you find the company's website, you go to investors, investor relations, and you go to quarterly results to find 10K. Of course, there are other ways to find annual reports. One, you can go to sec.gov/EDGAR. Two, you can actually go to Bloomberg Terminal and type ticker equity CF go, and this will give you SEC filings for specific tickers. Now that we know how to find a 10K, we can start dissecting. First couple of pages tell you quite a bit of information. Particularly this one will tell you a period for what that annual report ends, as well as the actual filing date. On second page, if we go, we can see what type of filer this company is. Large accelerated filer means that the company has to file within 60 days after end of their period. Accelerated filer is 75, non-accelerated is 90. Smaller reporting companies varies, but could be like 120 and around there. Then you can see that number of shares as of February 25th, 2010 was 82, almost 83 million. Now that I covered first couple pages, I will talk about 10K in general. 10K has 4 parts and many items. And the way you read 10K really depends on your purpose. And because I cannot make a universal way for any purpose, I will talk mainly the things you should focus on, some things you don't have to worry about and you can kind of skip. And in general, I will tell you where you can find many specific items that you're looking for. But as a disclaimer, I will say that depending on your purpose, you might need things that I will not cover in this video. Now I will talk about specific items of 10K, starting with item 1, business general. Here you can find out more about business and industry, how the specific company does its business, as well as what this business consists of. In the beginning, it could be a very difficult thing to do, because this is pretty much where you learn what this industry is all about. You need to figure out a lot of terminology if you don't really know that yet, and learn about many things like that. But the good news is, once you figure out item 1 really well for this specific industry, if you do similar company, it's going to be a lot easier, and a lot of things will be very similar. Item 1A, risk factors, talks about different risks this company might have. It might mention where industry is actually concentrated geographically, things like that. Most of the time, it's kind of useless unless you have specific purpose how you want to separate this company based on specific regions and stuff like that. But in general, this item is meant for lawyers and to limit companies' liability. Next few items are pretty self-explanatory. Unresolved staff comments, properties, legal proceedings, and basically other. Here, sometimes you might need to figure out their properties and how much land they have. If you want to see here, they, for example, have 151 square feet of office space, 1,200 feet of space for data storage. And then we can see legal proceedings and see specific court cases that this company might go through. Here, really, if you have specific purpose, you can look at them, but once again, it doesn't really give you the key information that you need. Now, where really interesting information comes into play. Part 2, Item 5. If you go here, it talks about specifically how many shares they have. This is another place where you can figure out how many shares outstanding, at least at a specific date. Then you can figure out its ticker and where it's trading. Then you can figure out high-low prices for past couple years, how many shares a company can repurchase, as well as you can figure out dividends that the company pays right now. Next, Item 6, Selected Financial Data. It is nothing more than the data, but the thing I wanted to point out is, for example, diluted net loss income per share, and you see 1 over here, or over here there's the 2. It basically refers to notes. To fully understand this data, you might want to go down and read actual notes that it refers to, and this will help you better understand what the statement is talking about. Item 7, Management Discussion, is very important. In here, we will talk about specific issues that company has, what they're trying to do, for example, expand, or anything else company might be doing. This is statements that you really should take a look in. It can have a variety of things in here, but a lot of them are very important to see how company might be doing in the future. After management discussion, the next item is basically financial statements. And here you can find balance sheet, income statement, equity, as well as cash flow statement. However, besides looking at these statements themselves, you should also see notes to financial statements. It goes right after the financial statement, right next to it. And here, there's a lot of important information. Let's put it this way. If a company doesn't want you to know about something, they're still required to disclose it. So the best place for them to put it at is notes to consolidated financial statements instead of actual numbers that most people see first. Here you can, if you look deep enough, you can dig up some pretty important information that could change your valuation or change your opinion how safe the company is. For example, like Citigroup or AAG, they might have put a lot of potential liability in notes to financial statements. And this type of liability, they didn't think it was very risky. However, this liability that wasn't in here actually caused them to do so bad and almost caused them to go to bankruptcy. And now I covered part 1 and part 2 of 10K, and this should give you a pretty good feel how to read 10K and what information you should pull out of there. I will not cover part 3 and 4. If you might need some information out of there, like executive compensation, but it comes back to specific purpose. If you have a specific purpose, you might need to find other ways to find how to search for information. But otherwise, my presentation comes to conclusion. Thank you for watching.